Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Gaby U Show. I am your host, Gaby, and today I have an amazing guest all the way from Netherlands. Her name is Meriam Boldewijn. So before we get started, let me tell you a little bit about her. So Boldewijn was born and raised in South America, and she's been living in the Netherlands for almost 30 years. She is a wife, a writer, and a former owner of a plus-size fashion web shop which is exclusive women's clothing. She has been traveling and meeting other people from different countries and cultures in the last 15 years, but it has not always been like that. There was a time when her husband was diabetic. He was on dialysis, had a kidney and pancreas transplant, groin rupture, several eye surgeries and ankle surgeries. And in November 2012, a day after her birthday, she was at the office when she received a call from her brother, who called and that he was having a stroke. So, taking care of her husband and her brother was a huge weight on her shoulder. She struggled with these unwanted feelings. So, while taking care of her husband, she had a burnout. And so, she decided to invest in herself and created a system to be a caregiver who stays in her power and in harmony while she does this incredible job. Um, she has been a caregiver for more than 20 years now, and she is the founder of the 6-week online program called Caregiver 2.0. And she believes it is time for the caregivers to own themselves to be back where they need to be. That
Yes.
is Meriam for you. Meriam, welcome. So excited
Thank
to
you
have
so
you.
much. Thank you
Yes.
so much for having me.
Yes. So, Miriam, before we get deep dive in our discussion today, I'm going to ask you two lovely icebreaker questions. So,
Uh-huh.
the first thing I'm going to ask you is what is your favorite food?
Ooh,
Maybe I
that's a
can
tough
start cooking it too today.
that's a tough question because Miriam loves food.
So, not a picky eater, right?
It's really hard for me to choose one. You know
Okay.
what you're gonna do when you go to a restaurant, you have an appetizer, an entree, and a dessert. Can I tell you three?
Yes, that's fine. We're not going to ding you on that. Yes,
So
go
I'll start
ahead.
with I'm originally from Suriname, so I'll
Mhm.
start with a vegetable soup from Suriname with
Okay.
okra. Do you know okra?
Yes, it's very
It's
good for the gut. Actually, it helps the GI
it's
system really
so
good.
delicious, so
Mm-hmm.
delicious.
Yes.
The next thing, my entree would be a T-bone steak.
Okay, girl. Mm-hmm.
Mhm. And I'll finish with a Monchou cake.
Oh.
Monchou is a sort of a cream cheese,
Oh,
and
okay.
the bottom is made of typical Dutch crunchy cookie.
Mm.
And then you have the cheese with sugar and some other stuff
Okay.
in it, and on the topping is with cherries in I wouldn't call it jelly. It's not really
Yes.
jelly, but it's with cherries the topping.
Oh.
Delicious.
You are making me hungry because I'm just there imagining how the topping and everything, as a super home chef
Oh,
person.
it's
I'm
so.
just like, maybe we'll have to send that. Maybe I can recreate it to my own level.
I will. I will. And my mom-in-law, she's 96 years old. When she makes it, oh,
Oh my goodness.
it's
Yes.
fighting for the last piece.
So is this something that you can, is it a festival kind of food? Is it, or is just something you can eat anytime as a dessert?
It's so easy. It is very easy to make.
Mm,
So you can make it at home whenever you want. But
mm, mm.
I don't make it because my mom-in-law makes it. So I
Okay.
want her to make it, to prepare it.
Yes. Oh, okay.
It's
Okay.
so. So I
Mm,
have three things I love.
mm.
I love food. I love tasting food from different countries, different cultures.
Yes. That's
I just
me.
love it. I love it.
And that's why I tell people that they need to just be adventurous, try stuff. That's the same thing with me. That's why I have a YouTube channel where I do different foods. I call myself a multicultural cook because I just incorporate different kind of foods from different places and just make it something delicious. So tell people, don't be scared, try it. It's not gonna kill you.
Try it, and then you know if you like it or not.
Yeah, you gotta try it. That's how life is. You gotta try stuff. Awesome. So the next thing I'm gonna ask you, what is your favorite quotes? I love quotes, and so I like to know what my guest quotes
Ooh,
are. What are their favorite? I know you might have many of them, but tell me the best one you.
I have two.
Hmm.
Many. I absolutely have many of them, but the first one is ask, believe, receive.
Oh, that is so good.
Because it's something this quote is really Miriam's life. I asked, I believed, and I received. I will tell you later what I mean with this. And the next
Yes.
quote I love is if plan A doesn't work, the alphabet has 25 more letters.
Oh my goodness, that is a good one. I haven't really heard that one. Oh, that's so that's
Plan
looks
A
like
doesn't
something
work.
like if something is not working, you need to pivot and
Yep.
you know. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, that's a good one. Hmm.
So there are many quotes, but these two,
Mm,
I just love them.
yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm getting them recorded. I hope you guys are listening and writing that down because it will help you in those times. I have a
Absolutely.
little thing I have in my phone where I save all these quotes. I share them and sometimes I will share them verbally. I've started doing some videos where I have to share them verbally so that people can hear it. So it's
Yeah.
really good.
But the
Awesome.
as, believe, and receive, I just
Mm.
love.
Yes. Yes, you
Ask
gotta.
for something, but believe that,
Mm.
and you will receive.
Yes, it is. It is. That's what
Mhm.
it's kind of like. It's kind of I would say like fate, having faith. Yes.
Losing hope.
Mm. Awesome. So, Miriam, the next thing I want to want us to talk about, I want you to share with me the key things that you feel like have shaped you to be the woman you are today, your struggles, your victories. Is it from health? Is it from motherhood, business? Just tell me as much as you can.
Yes.
What
Do
has
you have
shaped
a
you to
week?
be.
Do you have a week to talk?
We will do 2.0 part 2 with Miriam. 2 and 3.
um, the death of my sister. My
Mm.
sister died when she was 38 years, young.
Oh, oh wow.
I was 25 when that happened. Um, when she died, I was on holiday in Suriname. She lived in Suriname, and within a couple of hours, she was gone,
Mm.
lung emboli. So that was very. It happened 14 or 15 months after my dad died. So within 1.5 years, within 18 months, I lost my dad and my sister.
Wow, that
So when
is
my sister died,
big.
I promised myself that I would enjoy life to the max
Mm.
because she was so young.
Yes.
Um, the second thing is the illness of my husband and my brother. Um, like you said before, I've been a caregiver for more than 20 years now. My husband was diabetic on dialysis, had a kidney and a
Mm.
pancreas transplant. And that time was a very, very, very hectic time.
Mm.
I gave a lot. I gave too much. I gave 95% of Miriam. I didn't take care of Miriam.
Mm.
The 5% that I spent on Miriam, when I had time for myself, I made time for myself, I felt guilty.
Yeah. Wow.
5%. What happened is that Miriam burnt out. Miriam burnt out. To give
Mm.
you an idea, what
Mm.
my day looked like during that time. He was in the hospital for a couple of weeks, months
Yeah.
after his surgery. I woke up at 5:30 in the morning, started at the office at 7:30. Stayed there until 3 p.m. Came home, took the car, went to the hospital. That was 45 minutes drive, a 45-minute drive. Stayed with him in the hospital until 9:30 p.m. Came home, checked emails, did other stuff, went to bed maybe 11:30 p.m. And then the next morning, 5:30 p.m., woke up again. And this went on for several weeks, months. People were asking me, Meriam, do you need help? I said, no, I got it. No, don't worry about me. I'm fine. Meriam thought she was a superhero.
Yes, that's the thing.
I got it. I got it. So I remember we had a conversation with a social worker in the hospital. And she asked my husband, Martin, his name is Martin, how are you doing? How are you feeling? And he said, oh, I'm doing great. I'm recovering. I'm finally feeling better after 25 years of hospital in, hospital out, hospital in, hospital out. So he was finally feeling better. And then she asked Meriam, how are you feeling? Meriam cried for 15 minutes. Meriam sobbed for 15 minutes. And Meriam was angry at herself because she didn't want her husband to see her like that. Superheroes don't cry.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, that's the way they
Cry.
want it to be. But no.
Exactly. So that's when they discovered I burned out. But that was also my eye opener. When I came home, I looked in the mirror and I said, Meriam, do you want to go on like this? What if something happens to you? Who's going to take care of Martin? And that was, I changed my mindset. I didn't want to feel like that anymore. I didn't want to, I wanted to enjoy life.
Yes.
And the moment was finally there after the transplant. So I tried to figure out, how can I do this? How should I? People were giving advice, but I had to do it myself. I had to teach. I had to learn on my own. Okay, if I do this, okay, then I have time to do this. If I
Yes.
have someone helping me with groceries, then I don't have to do it. Then I have
Yes.
time myself. And it doesn't matter what I do, as long as
Yes.
something I enjoy.
That's
Right?
right.
I don't have to go to a spa for 4 or 5 hours. I can also read a book. I can also whatever I like. It was hard. It was hard because I had to get used to not asking continuously, do you need something from me? Hi, are you okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you need something? I really had to get used to that. And the guilt part, that was a tough one. Not feeling guilty anymore.
Yes.
So I learned a lot. And in 2012, this all happened in 23, 24. So Martin was doing great. And in 2012, I was at the office. Martin called me first. You have to call your brother now. I said, what's wrong? He said, I don't have time. Call him now. And when I called my brother, he was talking very funny. I couldn't understand. The only thing I think he said is, I don't feel okay. And within 10 seconds, I hung up the phone. I called 911. You're in the Netherlands, it's 112.
Okay.
I told them what happened. So they said, this sounds like a stroke. So I took the underground, went to his home. And when I got there, the police were there, the firemen were there, the paramedics were there, my husband was there. And I'll never forget what I saw. My brother sitting on the floor, paramedics busy with him. And The only thing I could say was, "Are you okay?"
Yeah.
And he could only do this because he was partially paralyzed.
Mm.
And the first 48 hours, we didn't know if he would make it.
Wow.
So we were in fear. Um, it's a terrible feeling.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
You don't know if you should be ready to start organizing things for a funeral, or it's a terrible feeling. And I started feeling overwhelmed again.
Mm.
um, and then I reminded myself, mm-mm,
Mm.
not gonna happen again, lady. It's not gonna happen again. And then I started doing the things, using the techniques and tools I
Yes.
learned after I burnt out. This all made me the woman I am today.
Mm.
The Miriam who owns her well-being. The
Yes.
Miriam who tells her husband and her brother, anybody who asks her, Miriam, can you help me with something? If I have scheduled a time for Miriam, I will tell you, I can't help you now, but I
Yes.
can help you later when I'm
Yes.
done with taking care of me.
Yes.
I couldn't do this. I had to learn to do
It's
this.
something, yes, exactly. You gotta learn it. It's not, it doesn't come
Yeah,
like it's like a muscle. The more you use it, the more muscle you get, you know. Mm-hmm.
absolutely. Um, so that's the woman I am today. The woman that I'm a sort of a daredevil now.
It's like
So
you just get stuff done.
get stuff done. And I enjoy life as much as I can.
Hmm.
Yes, because it can be over. My sister, within 3-4 hours, she was gone.
Mm.
So that's why I promised myself. My brother also he says, um, I got a second chance. So I'm gonna enjoy life. He walks again. He learned to walk again. He learned
Mm.
to talk again. We did it together.
Oh
We
my.
helped him as a family. So we are extremely proud of him. He still
Yes.
care.
Mm.
His right arm does isn't functioning anymore,
Mm.
so he does need some care. But he's much better than he was.
Yes. So where there's life, there's hope.
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
never lost hope,
Mm.
even though it was it was a tough
So yeah. Hmm.
tough ride. So that made me all those experiences made
Yes.
me the woman I am today.
Wow. That is
Yeah.
such powerful story. You know, you as you were talking, it's interesting that there's something in your story that I can really relate to. Talk about your sister that she died when she was 38. I actually have a friend that died a few years ago. She was 38 about 3 years ago. So she would have been 41 this year. And this was something actually that I shared in my first episode about my friend. We were pretty close. You know, we both schooled in Nigeria, and we did many things together. Graduated. She had come to America, but we hadn't really seen. She was just like some hours city. She had her first kid in America,
Yeah.
and I was one that helped her to find a hospital. And she was going to have her second kid, and she died while giving birth. Although
Wow.
the kids survived, so she left two young kids with her husband, and she was 38 when she died. And that really hit me so hard to the core. But one thing I was happy about, I would say, about her life and gave me something to think about was that this girl lived life, you know, which is something for me. Like, I look at that, this life is short. We never know when it's our last time. And so with
Yeah.
her death, it kind of, I mean, I've already been in that perspective of trying to do as much as I can in this world. But with her death, it gave me more to be like, you know what? You need to get to know your purpose and do stuff. You never know when it's your last time.
Yeah.
But because this girl, she lived life. You know, I wouldn't, she achieved so much. In fact, some of my friends that we were discussing some things about her, we're like, does she know she was gonna die young? Because the amount of things she did, she traveled, she got her PhD, she was doing business, she was like doing so much stuff, you know.
Didn't postpone anything.
Yes, and so that gave me perspective, and that's so I could kind of relate to that, and I put that to myself that you know what, I am going to do what I need to do in this world and discover what my purpose is, what is my skill, what is my talents, and it's something that I encourage people that they should look for that. They should know what their purpose is. Would not it's so you know it breaks my heart that if people they tell me that I don't have a purpose, like there's a reason why God has you in this world, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I know with you, all these experiences, you can see that, you know, like you said, your brother, he's like, this is like a second chance, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, you saw that, you knew how bad he looked. And it gives you that perspective, like you never know, you know, what's gonna happen. Yeah.
It can be over
Mm-hmm.
anytime.
Yes.
And you get such a second chance.
Mm-hmm. And I know people sometimes don't like to hear that, like, oh, you know, talk about death or last time, the life is short. People don't want to hear about it, but it's what the world is. We never
Yeah.
know. We never know. Just what we
You just
know is
don't
that we
know.
can do what we have to do to, because, you know,
Yeah.
2020 has shown us this, that anything can happen.
Anything can happen. And you simply don't know. You can
Mm-hmm.
be 10 years, you can be
Mm-hmm.
38, you
Yeah.
can be 99.
Yeah. I mean,
You
when
just,
we started January 2020, who knew the world was going to be like this? Nobody had no clue. You know, like, you know, it's just crazy that, and that's why it's like, don't wait. If you have something you want to do, just go ahead and do it. And if it doesn't work, you know, you tried, you tried, and go do something else, you know.
that's why I'm happy that the alphabet has 26
So say,
letters. See?
yeah, that so says your quotes, you know, that there's other options, you know. You know, talking about that, you know, talking about that when you say if something's not happened, move. You are not a tree. I know there's a quote like that.
Trees can't move.
Yeah, but
You
you are
can.
not. Okay, girl, move and go do something, you know. Yes. And you know,
That's
some of times these things involves is something that I mentioned in almost all my episode, that if you are somebody that don't feel like you have a purpose, don't know what in the world you are here for, look for a mentor, look for those people, coach that can help you through to
yeah,
discover this. You have to make a plan to discover it. Everybody has a purpose. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this is yeah, this is Miriam, who was formed
Mm.
by the things she experienced.
Yes.
Um,
Mm. I think that that's a lot of things that shape us in this world, you know. And then, you know, this kind of question sometimes when you, I think all of us need to actually take time, you know, if you are not you're not a guest on my podcast show, you know, asking you this, but if you are listening, this is something you should sit down and really think about it. Like, yeah, let me just sit down and write. What are the things that has actually shaped me? It's a good thing to do. It's a
yeah,
good exercise to
yeah,
do, you know.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So Miriam, what would you say you are most proud of today as a woman? If I wake you in the
Ooh,
middle of the night and just you're sleeping deeply and I wake you, Miriam, what are you proud of? What are you going to tell me right away?
the first thing I will say is, Gabby, what are you doing? You're waking me up. Do you have food?
Yeah, do I have Oh my
No,
goodness.
seriously.
Hmm.
I am so proud of myself. I
Yes.
am starting my second business from scratch.
Oh, awesome.
And I'm 50 years old.
Wow. You are still young,
Mm,
girl. God.
50 years. You're never too old to start
Mm,
something.
mm,
Never, ever, ever think that you're too old to
mm,
start. Because of what I've been a caregiver for more than 20 years now.
mm,
And only a couple of months ago, I discovered my why.
mm.
Isn't that funny? How did I discover my why? I started a web shop, a plus size web shop,
Mm,
in 2013. I closed that web shop last year, 2019. At the time of closing, I didn't know what I wanted to do. But what I did know is that I wanted to continue working with people.
yes.
That's something I love. I love to work with people.
Mm,
But I didn't know what. So last year in November, I met a friend online. She also lives in the US. And
yes.
we tried to schedule a Zoom call just
Mm,
to connect and who is she, who is Miriam. And
yes.
finally in August, a couple of months ago, we had our first Zoom call.
Mm,
So during that call, she introduced herself and she said, okay, enough about me. Who's Miriam? I said, well, Miriam is this, and I told her the
yes.
story about my husband, my brother, and I was so busy talking and I didn't look at the screen for a couple of seconds. And when I looked at the screen, I saw that she was in tears. And I
Oh,
said, oh my goodness, oh, that wasn't my intention. I didn't want you to cry. She said,
yes.
oh, it's okay. And then I said, maybe I should write a book. And she said, that's what I wanted to suggest. Why don't you write?
Ah.
And she's a writing
Oh.
so dit heb ik op het web I said, oh my goodness, I've never written a book. I'm not an author. She said, hold on. There's always a time to do something for the first time, you know?
Yes.
I said, me writing a book? About who wants to know my story? She
Yes.
said, you'll be amazed how many people you can help with your story. So I think it was August 6th or 7th. I don't remember the exact date, but it was the first week of August. I talked to my husband about it. I talked to Martin about it. And he said, hon, give it a go. Why don't you just do it? Think about it.
Yes. Yes.
And on August 22nd, I started writing my book about my caregivers.
Oh, so good. Oh my goodness.
And in this book, caregivers will, not only caregivers, everybody will read my story, of course, but also the do's and the don'ts, the mistakes
Yes.
I made.
It's so
Like
much needed. It's so much. Many
feeling
people
like,
need. Yeah.
yeah, feeling like a superhero. Don't be
Mm,
like Miriam. Don't do
mm,
it. If
yes.
people ask you, can I help you with? Yes, please. Yes.
Yes.
Don't be like me and
Mm,
say, no, I got it. No,
mm-mm.
don't. So I'm very excited. It's sometimes very emotional writing.
Oh yeah, it brings back all those memories again.
Yes. Yes.
But again, you're having healing as well. And, sharing stories
And
is a way of
so,
healing. Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's a way of healing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very excited. Hopefully, it will be ready next year
Okay.
because I don't want to rush things.
Mm.
And at the same time, I launched my 6-week program to help caregivers.
Yes.
I teach them how to stay in their power. and in harmony while they take care of their loved one. And
Mm.
a loved one can be a friend, a spouse, a partner, a child, someone you
Mm.
love.
Yes, that
Yes.
is amazing.
So it's
It's
only a
coming.
couple of months ago when I
Yes.
discovered my why.
Wow. And that is, it's okay, but you
Yeah.
discovered it while you are still living.
Yeah.
And
And
that's the thing. It's, sometimes we get into that level where sometimes we feel regret, or, and I think also it's comparing, having all these things that, oh, I am 50 or I am 40, I am this, I'm supposed to have gotten this. By this age, I'm supposed to have gotten that. My friend is doing this. Why am I not? Those things just drive
comparing,
it just makes pulls out the joy and even doesn't make you move forward. I mean, there is the thing of if it's motivating you to do something, but if it's making you feel bad, and also sometimes you can turn that around. If you see
yeah,
somebody doing something, or you're comparing and it's making you feel envious or not feeling great, then you need to look at it that probably that's maybe it's something that you need to tweak and need to resolve in your life, so it can be used for good stuff instead of being there and sitting down pouting and not doing anything. See how you can change that around and do something for yourself,
you
so
know, everybody's unique.
mhm.
Everybody has its qualities.
Yes.
It's just you have to find your quality.
Mhm.
Everybody's capable of doing something good for themselves or
Yes.
others. You just have to find what it is, but give
Yes.
yourself the permission to find it. And I love my imperfection,
Yes.
but that's also something I had to learn,
Mhm.
because you mentioned comparing. People, we compare
Oh yeah,
ourselves. It's no, stop doing it.
they call
Stop
it
comparing.
comparasitis if that's a word.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
but
doesn't. Mm-mm.
no,
It doesn't
and
help.
it's okay to not to be perfect.
Yes, it is okay. That's right.
I always tell my cousins and nieces, nephews, done is better than perfect,
Perfect.
right?
Because that is what people they get stuck. They want to be perfect and they want everything to be in place before I get started. I
Exactly.
want this to be the
Oh, yeah.
and that is having that is it perfection mentality? And then you never get started, or you just feel overwhelmed and lose the interest because you're like, when this come in place, when it comes before I do this. And it's also links to part of the thing of life is short. You never know. You are there pushing it. Oh, when I'm 20 or when I'm 30, when I'm 40, I will do it. Why are you waiting? Who told you? Do you know if you're going to make it to that time? So,
So
yeah.
true. And especially the young ones, I see it in my family. They want to do things quickly. Sometimes I said,
Mm-hmm.
and then I tell them, baby steps are steps too,
Yes,
right?
there are steps too. Mm-hmm.
You will get there. Do it in your own pace. If your friend can get results within 2 weeks and you need 4 weeks, take 4 weeks.
Yes.
Don't don't compare yourself.
Yeah, everybody got their own exam. They're taking
But
they have their own
for
exam.
me, it's easier for me as an
Mm-hmm.
auntie, a
Yes.
50-year-old auntie, to tell them. Um, but I try to let them know that they are unique, they have their qualities,
Mm-hmm.
and that it's okay to not to be perfect.
Yes. Because that is causing a lot of people not doing things. That thing of
Yeah,
it has to be perfect, it has to be perfect. And you do stuff the first time, it's gonna
yeah.
suck. It's gonna you probably it's not gonna be great. Then you modify it and it gets better the next time. And then you build more confidence, you know?
And that's how we learn.
Yeah. it's, you know,
That's how we learn.
there's one thing, well, another one of the is a quote too. You say, I never, I never fail. I don't know how exactly the word, but it's like I never fail, but I instead I'm learning. It's a learning. It's not that I'm failing. I'm learning. If something doesn't work.
I have a quote here on
Yeah.
my on top. To
Yeah.
me, sorry for being like
Yeah.
this. With my, to me, failure is not trying rather than not succeeding.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, that's it. You know. So, what would you say some of the encouraging words you can give to any of our listeners listening today? Um, Before we round up this episode, what are some encouraging words?
First word is believe. Believe in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Know that you're know and believe that you're worthy of a wonderful life.
Yes.
Believe that you're capable of doing great things, fantastic things for yourself and for others, and motivate yourself to do it.
Mm.
And motivation. Go
Believe
for it.
and believe and motivation.
Yes.
Mm, that is good. You guys
Yeah.
hearing? Write that down. Yeah. So, Miriam, how can people connect with you?
The easiest way is my site
Yeah.
www.meriamboldewijn.com,
Okay.
and I'm on Facebook. My name with my name. I'm on Instagram with my
Okay.
name. I'm on YouTube with my name.
Mm.
So wherever you are, just search Meriam Boldewijn, and you will find me. Send me an email if you have questions.
Okay.
And if there are any caregivers who are listening and you want to connect with me, go to the site and book a free call. And then
That's great.
we can have a chat. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
Okay, that's good.
yeah.
That's good. And then we'll be waiting for that your book to come release.
I'm
Yeah.
so
Can't
excited.
wait. Yeah, that is so great. I'm so
Me
excited about that.
neither.
Yes. So, guys,
So
all this information that we talked about, I'm going to have it on the show notes on the podcast and on YouTube. I will have it in the description area so you guys can have all that there. It's a good thing to connect with all these people like Miriam. I'm sure you learn a lot of stuff. I have learned a lot of stuff today. Oh my goodness, this is great. So thank you so much, Miriam, for coming today.
thank you for thank you for having me. It was
Yes,
so nice, and I hope that we can meet belly to belly someday because I want to
yes,
make some nice food.
yes. We will have to meet in person one of these days. I'll cook you a buffet.
Wow, can't wait.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you guys for listening today. This comes to the end of this episode. And I will see you guys next time. Remember, when you know better, you do better. So says Maya Angelou. Bye.